The Miami Heat keep on winning, and even though there's been Jimmy Butler drama, this team remains focused, and this team is playing some of their best basketball. And ladies and gentlemen, I think this Miami Heat team is back. It's been a minute since I've done a Heat video, so I'm going to talk about it in this one. Do me a solid, guys. Drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more, and shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. So before I get to some of my takeaways on this Heat team, they're coming off a win over my Raptors. They've won 4 in a row. They're definitely on the rise. Let's get into the Jimmy Butler stuff because I do want to talk about it. There's been so much reports coming out, rumors about Jimmy, where he's gonna land, where's he gonna go. Of course, Jimmy changing the color of his hair, and then somebody linked it to the teams that he's been linked to in trade rumors. The most recent one, Jimmy Butler rocking the orange hair against the Raptors, aligning with the Phoenix Suns rumor. And Jimmy Butler, he spoke about the different hair colors that he's been doing, and he said, I can change my hair to whatever color I want. Butler told reporters after the game, and there are no subliminals in my hair. I've just been changing it a lot. So I think Jimmy's playing along with it secretly. He's not going to come out and say it. We know his character. He's a troll in that nature, but I think it's great. Then the bigger thing here was the fact that Shams and Butler's agent, Bernie Lee, not sure if you guys caught that online, they engaged in a war of words this week during all the trade talk, as Lee, he did call Shams' reporting fabricated and question his credibility as a journalist, but then Shams, he stood by his reporting, he said, on First Take 1,000%. And Butler, he defended Lee on Thursday night, and he really valued his agent's loyalty, saying, I effing love it. I love it. I am all for the back and forth. Before he was my agent, he's like, I guess we're like brothers now. We do everything together. Butler didn't fire back at Shams and what he said, but he basically just showed his appreciation for Lee having his back during this time, saying, at least somebody's sticking up for me. Butler said, look, this is my take on the Butler thing. I personally think the Miami Heat are going to play this thing out. You know, Windhorst said the other day, I think Jimmy Butler's preference would be to sign an extension in Miami. The known part of this is that the Heat are listening to offers. I mean, it's a normal thing to do. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's not like Jimmy Butler has requested a trade or there's drama, there's turmoil. He's not showing up to play these games. Like, he's still been a professional. He's still been playing. And really, how I see this thing playing out is if the Heat keep winning, which they're doing, I don't see the Heat rushing a trade of any sort. I do think the Heat are going to let this thing ride. They're going to let this thing play out for this season, hope for the best. Hopefully they can make another one of their magical runs in the Eastern Conference, and then they'll get to it in the summer. But I don't think they're going to force a trade, you know, doing something big like this during the season to disrupt what could have been. It doesn't seem Pat Riley-like to me. So I think this is just all fluff at this point. This is just something to drive, you know, the media heads to talk about trades and to get the buzz going as we approach the deadline. But I don't see a Jimmy Butler trade happening unless the Heat are absolutely wowed with a trade. But we know how difficult it is now to make trades. And Miami is patient. Like, they are patient in what they do. They are methodical in what they do. So I think it's all noise at this point. And I do think Jimmy Butler and the Heat will remain for the season, and they'll get to what happens with Jimmy Butler's future after the season. So I think Jimmy, you know, he's been still playing well. Miami Heat are finally coming together, showing what they can be in the Eastern Conference. If this thing had fallen apart and Miami was terrible and they were one of the worst teams, yeah, you know, this would probably make me think, okay, the Heat are seriously going to get something done. But because, like, things are now starting to trend upwards, Miami, like, the vibes are great, it seems. Like, I don't think they're going to force a trade. When you look at this Heat team, I mean, they've been playing really well, and somebody who's really stepped up is Tyler Herro. And finally, Herro is that guy that the Heat hoped he would become. You know, they had so much faith and hope in him when they drafted him back in 2019, and there's a reason why they never parted ways with him when the Heat were in trade rumors, when Donovan Mitchell's name came up, even most recently Damian Lillard's name came up, and Tyler Herro is finally showing that he can be that all-star caliber player. Like, he's on that path to become an all-star, as this season he's averaging 24.2 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. You look at his last couple of games, he has just been putting up monster numbers. Like, look at this. Like, these numbers speak for themselves, and this is what the Heat were waiting for. They were hoping Herro would step up and be that guy that, even though Butler struggles with a shot in his offense, they have somebody in Herro who can answer the call. He's just 24 years old. Like, that even surprised me. Feels like Herro's been in the league forever. He's only 24. He hasn't even hit his prime yet. It's a great sign for the future of the franchise that Herro is giving them this type of production and he's staying healthy, which is the most important thing. And I don't know why we're not talking about Tyler Herro enough when it comes to winning the most improved player of the year. Like, I saw this over at BetUS, and right now, like, Herro's got really good odds, guys, plus 400. So you could go along and place this bet if you wish. And if you want to get in on the action this season, you can sign up with BetUS. You get a 150% bonus on your first deposit and a 125% bonus on your second and third deposits, up to $2,000 with the code YouTube150. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. So Herro's been great, and another thing I want to point out here, with the Miami Heat lacking star power, they haven't roster depth. And in that win against the Raptors, the role players made a massive difference. You know, you look at Highsmith and Robinson, they combined to score 17 points to support the big three. The bench put up 42 points for Miami. Every single player who earned minutes put up at least 5 points or more. So even players like Drew Smith and Nikola Jovic made their impact on both ends of the floor, which is great to see, because every time Miami made those deep runs, it was the role players that stepped up. And then you're getting the improved play, all-star play of Tyler Herro. And even Bam Adebayo, you know, a lot of people expected him to take his game to like that next level, but he still has solid averages of 16 points, 10 rebounds, 5.2 assists per game. And he's been steady in every category. So he's impacting the game in every single way. So I know people don't see like the points per game jump out at you, like he's not over a 20 point per game scorer, but he's doing a little bit of everything. And I think what's really important for the Heat, and what's great to see, is that the Heat, they are relying on Bam's isolation scoring to close games for them, and it's been working. You look at Miami, guys, I don't think anything drastic is gonna happen. That's my main point here. I think they're gonna keep this thing as is, and this team, like, they have really played well. Again, the Heat, 4 wins in a row. They're 8-3 in their last 11, and they're moving up the standings slowly but surely. So that's big. And I think what's even bigger is the fact that they've been able to do all that, been able to win all these games during all of this Jimmy Butler drama, while ESPN is nearly talking about it every day now, but like, where's Jimmy Butler gonna go? Where's he gonna land? So that makes it even more impressive that the Heat, given all the distractions, are still able to keep focused and just win. Because at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Just winning these games, putting themselves in the best position in the East. Because I still think this Miami Heat team, like, they're that boogeyman to Boston. And if they're healthy, they give a lot of teams problems. Like, the Heat have the permanent label of nobody wants to see this team in the playoffs. And nothing changes with them in regards to that for this season. So we'll see how the Heat rank. We'll see what happens with the Jimmy Butler stuff. But let me know, guys, do you think a Jimmy Butler trade gets done? Do you want to see the Heat keep this thing intact and see what they can do for this season? Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and once again, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. That is it for me. It's Luke signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.